Hey there, this is Andrew bringing you a Winds of Exchange deck opening. And yeah, we'll see what we get here. Alright, so, saw two houses already, Brobnar and Sanctum. And the third one is Star Alliance. Okay, so this is likely to be a deck that wants to be on the board, have board efficiency, and for our token we have Explorer. So this is the Clever Paleontologist. Don't love Explorer, so definitely some iffy feelings about that. Hoping for efficiency of play in Star Alliance with some board presence, Amber generation in Brobnar, and possibly some Amber generation in Sanctum 2. Yeah, they have some interesting ways to just burst. So, but of course it depends on what we'll get. So this token is Explorer. The nice thing about Explorer is that Explorer is a 2-power token. It's an alien, and after it reaps, you look at the top card of your deck and you may discard it. Let's get that to focus a little better. All right. So it's not bad. I mean, it's a fine reap effect. It's just not a total game changer. It's not something you would build around if you're building. Okay. Okay, well, we start with Hallafest. That's a pretty good start. So Hallafest is a rare Brobnar action that says play, search your deck, and discard pile for up to 4 Brocken cards with different names. Reveal those cards and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck. Gain chains equal to the number of cards put into your hand this way. I don't think I've ever actually played this yet, but I have heard talk from other people who have played it that it just ends up creating a pretty substantial board flood, which is good. Alright, so we get Harmal Attune. This is our, so we should get a few Brocken creatures. I think ideally we would actually want a Brobnar token. That's actually the problem here. But doesn't mean it won't be good. It just would probably be better with the Brobnar token. So Harmal Attune is a 5-power giant Brocken who says each other friendly Brobnar creature gains destroyed. Return this creature to its owner's hand. And Harmal Attune is a rare. Oh wow, we've got Looter Goblin, who is a 2-power elusive, 2-power goblin with elusive. And after Looter Goblin reaps for the remainder of the turn, you gain an amber after an enemy creature is destroyed. That's cool. Ged Hammer is a 5-power giant Brocken with destroyed, ready, and enrage each other friendly Brobnar creature. That's very nice. Ged Hammer has a capture icon and a draw icon. That enhanced onto him. We have a Vow of Blood. This one got enhanced with a damage. Vow of Blood is an action with an amber that gives 2 damage enhancements, and when you play it, you deal 2 damage to each damaged enemy creature. Nicely, that actually combos well with Looter Goblin because it triggers on Destroy, not just Fight. Then we have Volca, a 5-power giant Brocken who got enhanced with a damage in this case. Volca says each friendly Brobnar creature gains Splash Attack 1. Nice for helping burn down a board. We have a second Volca, unenhanced. So, and so far 3 targets for our Hallafest. And there he is, Brick Nasty, the 5-power giant Brocken, who says after another friendly Brobnar creature fights, gain 1 amber. So we actually have 4 different band members here, and so Hallafest can bring out, a Brick Nasty, a Volca, a Ged Hammer, and Harmal Attune, which is pretty great. And the Harmal Attune means that as you're blowing up the others, you get them back and can replay them. It's pretty crazy. And a fresh marks. This is good for a couple reasons. So fresh marks is an action with an amber that says play destroy a friendly creature if you do exalt 3 enemy creatures. What's really exciting about this is if you have this with the Hallafest, you play Hallafest to get the band, play it, and then you fresh marks your Gedhammer to ready and enrage each other friendly Brobnar creature. So now you've readied your Brobnars, you've put amber on your opponents, and Harmel Attune means that even Gedhammer goes back to your hand. That's pretty crazy. Then we've got Ragnarok Prep. It's an action. This one got enhanced with a draw. It says play make a token creature. Then if you control more creatures than your opponent loses 2 amber. So we've got some amber control in here. Rant and Rive for some scaling amber control. That's excellent. It's an action with an amber that says if your opponent has 8 or more amber, they lose half their amber, rounding it down. That's really good. We've got Stratosmack. Play deal 3 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, make a token. And that's it uh, for the Brobnar. And I think it's a pretty great setup. Only 3 amber pips, but a lot of potential for generating fast with brick. And Looter Goblin too. Big board presence. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, seems like a nice Brobnar. Even without a Brobnar token, actually, it seems pretty good. All right, on to Sanctum. Okay, Hymn to Duma is great. I'm really happy to see that. So Hymn to Duma is an artifact. It's a power, and it gives each of your friendly creatures Omni. Destroy this creature. A friendly creature captures 2 amber. Really interesting with Harmel Attune because it means you can Omni your Brobnar creatures to capture, and you get the Brobnar creature back to your hand too. Now that'll actually slow your draw down if you do that on a non-Brobnar turn, but for good creatures, it's probably worth it. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting setup. That's even a way you could bring the Brick Nasty back to your hand on your non-Brobnar turn, prepping to drop him back safely on a Brobnar turn. Interesting. And also, this is just a great way to stop your opponent from winning, which is the first rule of you winning is don't lose. Yeah, an Explorer actually has a chance to stay on the board. That's a way to use them off your Star Alliance turn too. Okay, then we have a Sigil of Brotherhood that'll allow us to potentially use Sanctum creatures off of Sanctum. That's very nice. Comes with an Amber Pip. All right, Battlefield Evangelist. 3 power human knight with 2 armor. After it fights, you make a token. This one got a capture and a draw enhanced onto it. Interesting to see so many enhancements, and I don't know what exactly they're going to come from. I think maybe we got the common enhancers in both Sanctum and Star. I didn't see Vow of Blood gave us 2 damage, but really I haven't seen where the other stuff is coming from. Celestial Gorm, okay, that's some artifact control. It's an item, it's an artifact, an item. It has an amber Omni. You destroy it and you return each other artifact to its owner's hand. We've got a Chow for some taunt. Another Chow. A third Chow. Wow, that's a lot of taunt. Colonel Mariana. 5 power Spirit Knight with 1 armor. When you play it, each friendly knight captures an amber, and this one got a draw on it. And I mean, a lot of knights, so that makes Mariana pretty good. Yeah, so there's a Cassiel the Benevolent. Cassiel is a 2 power human knight with 2 armor that enhances with an amber and 2 captures. Checks out. We probably got multiples. No, really. Interestingly, I haven't seen a ton of token generation here, but membership drive will generate a token and then make an amber for each friendly token. But yeah, I really don't think we've seen a lot of token generation up to this point. We have Battlefield Evangelist, Stratosmack could make one. Ragnarok Prep. That's it. So yeah, membership drive, a little iffy, but more likely to fire given that they're not one power creatures, at least. Muster makes a token creature, and if your opponent has more amber than you archive Muster. Okay. And then Outflank uh, says that each Sanctum Flank creature captures 2 from its opponent, and it has an amber on it. Importantly, this actually could have your opponent's creatures captured from you as well, if the circumstances are right. Okay, on to Star Alliance. FOF Transponder, that's nice. It's a way to generate some tokens for sure. So FOF Transponder gives a creature destroyed, make a token creature, attach FOF Transponder to that creature. So, and then once it's attached to the new token, if that token's destroyed, it's going to make a new one. So it'll keep doing that. And the only ways to stop it are some sort of non-destruction removal, where you put the creature back in the hand or something like that. Or the other way is if the deck runs out, then it won't fire. Okay, CXO Tabor, 3-power alien Kirk 6 with after fight, after reap. You may play or use a non-Star Alliance card this turn. Very nice if you can get it to fire. It's pretty weak, so often does not fire, but the effect is amazing. Here's CPO Zytar, 4-power alien Proximate Scientist with 1 armor, who enhanced us with a damage and 2 draws. And I'm guessing we're going to see at least another one of these. Yeah, there we go. And this one got a damage on it. Are we going to have a third, maybe? No. Okay. Ooh. Future Booster. Very nice. It's an artifact with an amber. It's an item, and it omnis to look at the top card of your deck, and you can put that on the bottom. It's not archiving, but it is a nice way to start to shape what's going to come out the bottom of your deck. Photon Blast. This one got enhanced with a damage. When you play it, you deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 splash. If this damage destroys 1 or more creatures, you make a token creature. Got a second Photon Blast. There's all our token generation. Rogue Operation. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Steal 1 amber for each house represented among the discarded cards. That's very nice. Scout Chief Courageer. Play 2-power alien Kirk 6. When you play it, you make a token creature, and after it fights or reaps, you make a token creature. We got a second Courageer, this one with an amber. Specialist Guthrak is a 3-power alien hand-to-hand with skirmish, and after it fights or reaps, you capture 1 amber onto it for each house represented among it and its neighbors. Uplink is an upgrade with an amber, gives a creature action, make a token creature for each of this creature's non-Star Alliance neighbors. Again, all the token generation seems to be in Star Alliance. And you don't necessarily want your token generation in the house where your token is, although I think Hymn to Duma makes that less of an issue. Now, Hymn to Duma is great. I think the Brobnar is great. The Sanctum is okay overall. How's our amber generation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 amber pips is a little low. I think Brick Nasty gives us some, he can do it, but it's still a little on the low side. So I would worry this is not going to do the woe thing of just flooding and rushing ahead. That seems to be where woe really shines. But I could be wrong. It has some decent efficiency tricks with the future booster as well as a bunch of draw pips. So and the Hymn to Duma is pretty impressive, along with a really cool Brobnar too. I mean, the interesting thing with Hallafest is you're getting chains, but in addition to that, you removed probably 4 cards from your deck. So so you've actually thinned the Brobnar out of your deck. Your deck going forward is going to be a little more efficient. So um, the chains are probably needed just to counteract that. All right, cool. That was the Clever Paleontologist. Hope you enjoyed and that you will get out there and forge some keys.